students, in the previous lecture we have learned that how to draw the diagram of human digestive system. If you haven't seen that lecture, you can see the link in the description box. Today we will learn what are the various steps of nutrition in human. So there are 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. So we will study all of them properly. The first one is ingestion. What is ingestion? Ingestion is just putting food inside our mouth. Mouth, the cavity inside the mouth is known as buccal cavity. So you can say it is oral consumption of food when the food is put inside our buccal cavity. After ingestion, the second step is digestion. Digestion is the most important and lengthy step of nutrition. What is digestion? Digestion is breaking up of large insoluble food molecules into small water-soluble food molecules. This is digestion. When we put food in our buccal cavity, then our food meets with teeth, tongue, saliva. Yes? And teeth help to chew the food. So it helps in the physical digestion. Tongue helps to mix these pieces with the saliva. Now what is saliva? Whenever you look at something very delicious, you want to eat it, your mouth starts watering. This water inside your mouth is known as saliva. Saliva is given by salivary glands. It is secreted by salivary glands. Salivary gland is an exocrine gland. You know what is exocrine? Which gives out the secretion with the help of thin ducts. Fine. There are 3 types of salivary glands. Parotid, that is below and behind the ear. Second is sublingual, that is under our tongue. And third one is submandibular, that is under our lower jaws. Fine. These are the 3 types of salivary glands which give out saliva. Now saliva helps in the digestion of carbohydrates. Saliva contains salivary amylase. Salivary amylase is an enzyme. You know what is enzyme? What is an enzyme? Enzyme is a biological catalyst. It helps in digestion. Now what salivary amylase does? It helps in the digestion of carbohydrate. It starts changing starch into sugar. So you can say the digestion of carbohydrate itself starts in the buccal cavity. Fine. Only carbohydrate moves through the esophagus, that is food pipe, to the stomach. Food pipe, esophagus. There is a special thing about its wall, that the walls of esophagus, they contract and expand. They contract and expand. This movement is known as peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement helps in moving the food from mouth to stomach. From esophagus, the food moves to stomach. Stomach is a sac-like organ which is present in the left side of our abdomen. Protein digestion takes place in the stomach. In the stomach, the digestion takes place for around 3 hours. Now, the stomach wall is having 3 glands. 3 tubular glands present in the wall of a stomach gives out gastric juices. Now what are these gastric juices? These gastric juices comprise of hydrochloric acid, enzyme pepsin and mucus. The first one is hydrochloric acid. What is the function of hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid helps in maintaining the acidity of the medium. Now why acidity is required? Because this acidic medium will help the pepsin to digest the protein. So Hydrochloric acid is helping pepsin enzyme. Now the third thing is mucus. Mucus is also there in the gastric juice. For what mucus is required? What is mucus? Mucus is very slimy liquid, and which is present on the walls of stomach. Actually, mucus helps to save the wall of stomach from acidic medium. Otherwise, there will be ulcers on the walls of stomach. From the stomach, the partially digested food moves to small intestine. Small intestine is about 6 to 7 meters long and it is coiled in the belly. The length of small intestine depends upon the nature of food the organism takes. Suppose we are talking about cattle which feed on grass, they take cellulose. So there what happens, the intestine is very long, small intestine, because cellulose is difficult to digest. But carnivores like lion, tiger, they eat flesh, they eat meat, which is easy to digest. So small intestine is less lengthy than the herbivores. In human being, carbohydrates, proteins and fats, all the three nutrients are being digested in a small intestine. And a small intestine gets the secretion of two main glands of our body, liver and pancreas. Liver is the largest gland of our body. It gives out bile. Bile is a greenish yellow liquid which is given out by liver and stored in gallbladder. Fine. And bile is alkaline in nature. It makes the acidic nature alkaline and it helps in the digestion of fat. It emulsifies fat. So when pancreas is also a large gland which gives out pancreatic juice. The pancreatic juice needs alkaline medium to get activated, to work, to function. And this alkaline medium is given by bile. So liver is helping pancreas. So the pancreatic juice contains three main enzymes: amylase, trypsin, lipase. Amylase is for digestion of starch, trypsin helps in digestion of protein, and lipase helps in the digestion of lipids, that is fats. So pancreas is helping in the digestion of all the three nutrients and giving its secretion in small intestine. Small intestine is getting secretions from liver as well as pancreas. And small intestine is also having some glands in its own walls for the digestion. The juice secreted by these glands is known as intestinal juice. This intestinal juice helps in the conversion of carbohydrates into glucose, protein into amino acids, and fats into lipid globules. Or you can say fat into fatty acids and glycerol. So in this way, carbohydrate, proteins and fats which are not soluble in water, they become glucose, amino acids and glycerol, and these three are soluble in water so that they can be absorbed by the walls of small intestine. This is the main definition of digestion. Digestion means breaking up of insoluble food particles into small water-soluble food particles. Now the third step is absorption. When digestion is complete, absorption takes place. Absorption mainly takes place from the walls of small intestine. The walls of small intestine contains tiny blood capillaries so that the nutrients absorbed by the wall of small intestine, these nutrients can move to blood, and from blood they can move to the whole body. Now here comes a term villi. Villi. Villi are small finger-like projections that are present in the inner membrane of small intestine. They are there for increasing the surface area. The increased surface area will help in more absorption of nutrients. Fine. Now we have learned up till now how the food is being digested, how it is absorbed. Now the step is assimilation. The movement of digested food molecules into the cells where they are used for growth, repair and getting energy is called assimilation. We respire, we inhale air. The oxygen in this air is used to oxidize the food particles and give out energy. Means the oxidation of this digested food releases energy, and this energy helps us to do our day-to-day work. If there is unused glycogen, then it is stored in liver so that it can be used further whenever required. Now the last step is egestion. Undigested food is given out of the body, or you can say it is expelled out of the body, that is egestion. From small intestine, the food goes to large intestine. In the large intestine, the left water in the food is absorbed from the walls of large intestine, and now the waste food, the undigested waste food becomes solid and gets stored in rectum, and after that it is expelled out by anus. So these were the 5 steps of human digestive system. You can say nutrition in human. First is ingestion, second digestion, third absorption, fourth assimilation, and fifth is egestion. From this lecture, I have only 2 questions for you. The first question is, where is the bile of liver, which is secreted by liver, is stored in our body? Second question is, what is the function of villi? Villi, which are present in the small intestine. Fine. These are the 2 questions. You have to write the answers in the comment box. Any query, any questions you want to ask about this topic or any other topic of biology, you can write it down in comment box. Thank you.